Hey, it's Marissa Miller. I just wanted to give you a little bit week in my life kind of video. I'm putting up a listing this week, so I thought now would be a great time to show you kind of what I do. So I have prepped the listing in MLS this morning, and then me and my brother, my assistant for today, he has more of a flexible job as well. So we are gonna go down to the house and take measurements and photos today. He's gonna help me screw in some light bulbs, clean up around the place, move anything that needs to be moved. I don't wanna share too much information about the property, but I would like to give you as much of a glimpse into it as I can, because I think it would be really fun for new agents and also just for clients and people in general to see kind of what we do. And then I also made a list last night of everything that I need to bring today because it is kind of a lot to remember and I didn't want to leave anything out. So I've got my nice handy dandy laser measurer. So you just turn this bad boy on and you put it against a wall. So we'll put it like up here and then you just press the button and it goes all the way across to the other side. And then you can read that it's 12 feet. So it is very nifty. I've got my lockbox that I have to bring. I have a step ladder and a broom and then a bag of light bulbs just in case. So I'm gonna throw a bunch of that in my bag and in my car. Okay, so we made it to the house. We have already taken some measurements of the entire place. We were gonna take measurements of the outside, but I only have that laser measure. So we have to get a physical one because it is just not working in the sunlight and stuff. So right now we're taking pictures. So we're in the ballroom right now. It's pretty cool. It's massive. And we are just gonna clean up a little bit so that we can get a good photo. So we got pictures of the entranceway and the ballroom done so far, and we're working on the den. So this is the den, real quick. And we usually take pictures in each of the four corners of the room, and then I'll pick whichever one I like best. And then we also turn on all the lights and open all of the windows. So we've opened all the windows as best as we can and turned on all of the lights. So I am just going to snap a picture in all four corners and then we're gonna move on to the next room. So I just wanted to quick update what we did. I had to drop my brother off and I am just about to go into cheer practice. I am an assistant coach for a high school cheer team, so I have that tonight as well. But we took all the pictures of the main floor, the second floor. We hopped in the garage and checked that out, did some measurements as well. We're on our way home and I realized I forgot to check what type of heating it was, so we turned around. We were about 10 minutes out and we went back and we checked and got everything we needed. So yeah, everything is getting there. I've got all the information that I need. I've got all the pictures that I need. The lockbox is dropped off there, and so then today's Monday, so tomorrow, Tuesday, I will be editing the pictures and finalizing the listing input and writing up a description for the home. And then Wednesday it will go live, and I will probably head down there again and just put a sign rider on the for sale sign if it's not already there. Also, I want to print out spec sheets and leave them there for any potential buyers that come through. So I will definitely take you along for all of that, so you can see the final result. I'm very excited about the pictures. They all turned out really well. I'll kind of show you how I edit them too. It's nothing crazy, but just to get a little behind the scenes of how they turned out. I think they turned out really well, and I'm happy with them. So I'm gonna head in right now, and I will catch back up with you tomorrow. Happy Tuesday. I am going to start this morning with calculating some measurements. So I have them all typed up on my notes app. My brother was just, using my notes app, and then I would use my laser measure and I'd calculate the length of the room, and then I would just say, hey, we're in the kitchen. It's 15 by 16, let's say. So he would write that down. That was really helpful to have him there. Saved me a lot of time. I'm just gonna write it in this, I don't know if it's an app necessarily, but it's a website called Trello, and it's just for note taking. So I am just keeping it all in the same card that I have for the house to keep it organized. We also use Dotloop, which is like a file organizing software, but that's mostly for like contracts. So I'm gonna keep it to Trello, I think, for measurements. And then I do have a few questions that I need to ask my broker, so I need to type up all of my questions and give him a call and get those answered. And then I will be editing my photos, which I'm very excited about. Also, I need to finalize the listing input today, and just make sure that the square footage is accurate and add in all the measurements of the rooms. So I will also be doing that today. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Tomorrow I have to submit it and it will go live. I also probably should work on making some social media posts today. Since I'm editing those pictures, I'll be able to make one right away. So that's always super convenient. I need to write up the description for the property. So like my little selling points, and that's what you would read like if you were on like a home search site or something. That's like the main public remarks that you would read that go along with the home. So I have to write that as well. I have a lot to do today. And I had a list of things to do that were not related to this listing, but those are not going to get done today. Very likely not going to get done today because I have to be somewhere at 4 p.m. So I have to leave the house at 3:30, and it is 9:30 right now. So not saying that this is necessarily going to take me all day, but the original list that I had is no longer gonna work. I have to make sure that this is first because this is my priority over all the other things that I have on my list. So I will show you a little bit behind the scenes of what I'm working on today. We take out the decimals when we input it in MLS, so I always round down. So if it was 15.5 by 32, I just say 15 by 32. So then I've got all of the measurements here. I have the basement measurements and the garage measurements as well. Update. I could not directly get a hold of my broker, so I left him a message. He always tells us to leave long voicemails asking our question, and then so you don't have to play phone tag, he can potentially answer my questions over a voicemail if I'm not able to pick up. But it was pretty lengthy. I had a lot of questions. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions. A lot of those have to do with the listing input on MLS, so I am not going to work on that right now because I'll probably have to change a bunch of things. So I am going to edit my photos right now instead and work on social media posts. So I have 87 photos to look through. Like I said, we typically will take one from pretty much every angle of the room, and then I have quite a few of the front of the house. So I will look through and I will pick my favorites. It's honestly crazy how fast time flies. I just looked at my video. Obviously, I'm gonna time lapse all of that and cut some pieces out. But that took me almost 40 minutes to edit the photos. I just use like the plain Jane photo editor on my laptop. We are not supposed to like Photoshop any cracks out, obviously, or anything that could be misleading to potential buyers. So I honestly just use really basic editing just to like brighten up the room a little bit. Sometimes I like to take down the highlights so you can actually see out of the window. So I ended up, how I did that first, I put all of my photos in a folder, and I have like an all photos folder, and then I copy that folder over and do like a final folder. And so I just went through, and each of the rooms I picked 1 or 2 pictures that were like my favorite, and then I just deleted the rest of them. And then once I had it down a little bit to, you know, my favorites, then I edited those. So I'm not editing everything because that would just be pointless. There's a lot of mirrors in this house, and so I was in a couple of the pictures depending on where I was in the room. We also brought a lot of stuff with us, and so like I had my bag like in the hallway in one, so obviously I'm not going to use that one. I have my brother running around in the hallway on a couple of them, so I'm like, okay, we're not going to use those. But like I said, I started with 87 photos. I cut down and then I edited them as well, and so I have 25 photos total, which I would say is probably typical. I would say anywhere between like 20 and 30. You could even go 40, but I would say between 20 and 30 is usually a good amount for photos. Obviously, like, you know, the less bedrooms and bathrooms you have to take a picture of, the less you're gonna need. So if it's a smaller house, maybe only like 10 to 15. But I like to take as many pictures as I possibly can so that the potential buyer can see, you know, what this house is gonna look like before they actually go see it. So I have 3 pictures of the front. I have 1 picture of the back, which I'm not certain if I'm going to use yet or not. And then I have pictures, like I said, of pretty much every single room. I don't take pictures of like the hallways and like the basement, except for I did take a picture of the basement bathroom that's down there because I am counting that as a bathroom. So it's always good to have a picture of it if you're gonna count it. So yeah, and I did like a close-up of one of the fireplaces, but otherwise you can pretty much see everything in the pictures, so there's really like no need for a close-up. But yes, I am pretty happy with my photos. I'm probably gonna upload them to MLS right now and then update all of my measurements. The listing is officially live. It went live on the MLS about 10 minutes after I submitted it, so that was super quick. And I just posted all of my things on social media. I sent out an email to everyone in my office just notifying them that the listing is up, so if they have any potential buyers that might be interested in it, to let me know. And if they have any more questions about the property, don't hesitate to ask. So now we kind of wait and we managed the listing, but thank you for sticking with me and watching what it's like to put up a listing. Hopefully this gave you a little more insight into what we do day to day. So I hope you enjoyed it.